you pretty much seen it all, and the whole change in music business and in attitudes. To me, it kind of seems that nowadays new artists and bands take this whole like rock business more seriously, because to me it seems like the days of partying or like sex, drugs, and rock and roll are kind of passé. Is it true?
Were. I mean, I think when you had punk rock kind of smashing up against disco and arena rock simultaneously, that was kind of the death blow of that. Mm-hmm. And it still lingered on. I mean, the 80s was like in the US and Europe was a decade of commercial metal, where it was all about that. It took punk rock like a decade to kill that. But really, the bands that kind of took over in the early 90s, the rock bands that took over, all came from more of like an urban art punk rock scene, an indie scene. And that was more straight edge almost than not, in a way. Not straight edge like defined by like DC hardcore, but definitely not like strippers and booze and like Seattle bands got a reputation for drugs, but
that's not
it's
right.
Kind of silly, really. I mean, the all of those like clean cut new wave bands of the 80s did more drugs than all of, like the Seattle druggies put together times 100. That's why those bands are gone. They all did like Tony Montana piles of coke and they can't function. So yeah, that wasn't. I remember having like sort of friends and acquaintance dudes that I would meet come to shows and then be disappointed that we didn't have a party backstage.
I always said the same thing. We're here to play the music. We were always about the music. We weren't a party band. We weren't a rock stars. We were nothing about that. We were just rockers, and we were focused on the music.
None of our friends were like that either.
Well, how do you see the music business nowadays? Because of course, during last few years, all this like downloading and stuff like that, all the album sales have decreased and so on. What do you think about all this? Because it happens so fast.
Well, I think there's this kind of notion of constant change. Like, I think that there was sort of a way that the music business worked, and that was a constant. And what changed was the sound or the look or and so there was an infrastructure in the music business of people whose job it was to go out and find that new look or that new sound or whatever it is. Now I think change is continual. I don't know that like the chips will land, and it's not about sound or look or anything like that. It's really about how people find music, share it, listen to it. And that's kind of almost becoming the fashion statement, as opposed to the individual band or the music or the songs. It's like the device or where you're listening to it. And I think there's also this kind of internet notion of like getting there first. And the getting there first has always been there, but the speed of that now is like crazy. How do you have time to like discover a band and enjoy it and really get drawn into it when, as like a 15-year-old kid, there's this peer pressure to like find the next 10 things, you know? How, as a band, do you achieve sort of a natural following over a long period of time that you can keep? I know it's possible because people are doing it, but I'm not sure anyone could sit down and explain it in the sense of a formula like they used to, because there used to be a very clear one. Very clear. It was easy, you know.
But I think the one thing that never changes is that a good song is a good song, and in the end, that's the most important thing. You can like rise up to fame in 15 seconds, but you won't stay there unless you don't have a like good song.
Yeah.
Depth of good songs.
And also the first ones that arrive with a new idea. It doesn't matter if like 20 other ones follow that sell more records or have larger careers. I think that, you know, the ones that show up first stay the longest. Not really sure why that is, but it seems to be true.
Well, if you make a long career, whether you're like teacher or a rock musician or whatever, you make like choices that may not be so good and you might regret them afterwards. Do you guys have any kind of have you made decisions musically wise that you have afterwards think that why did we do that? That was wrong.
I don't have any musical regrets. My only regret would be that there would have been a way for us to tour more and just be able to function, you know, earlier in our lives where we had more fun and where there was like less tension or less stress, and it was just like the way that we are now. And I think that's impossible because that's the one thing that I think comes with getting older is that you just let go of so much stuff that doesn't matter, and then that stress kind of goes away.
You can only control yourself and comport yourself to the world. So.
Yeah. But I think it's natural. You're a different person when you were 18 than when you're like 30 or 40 or something like that. So getting mellow, I think it comes naturally or something like that.
I think so.
I hope so. What are you guys gonna do after this? After this tour is over, you have plans for the new Soundgarden album or?
Hopefully, yeah.
I hope we tour South America. We've never gotten to go there as Soundgarden. I would like to do more support for King Animal myself.
Yeah, I'd like to do both.
I can't believe that this is the first time off King Animal that we've been to Europe since it's come out.
Yeah, because you were in Europe and in UK before the album came out. Yeah.
Was it a year ago?
Yeah.
A year ago, yeah.
Well, you've seen it all in the music business. What advice you would give to some youngster who's just starting career? Like, is it possible to maintain or make a career in music nowadays, or is it impossible?
I don't know. I mean, I've speaking for the four of us, we didn't start to make a career in the sense of like paying the rent. It wasn't about that. We all had jobs, and those jobs provided a $500 car, one amp, one guitar, some strings,
Be able to buy strings,
some drumsticks,
exactly.
maybe a 4-track, and you put your money together. Maybe we never had rehearsal spaces. It was always someone's house, so that was what that was for. And then the band and the music was what we did with our lives outside of the, you know, we worked to support it, and that was our lives. And it wasn't about a career. It wasn't about making money.
Hopefully, if you're a kid and you're focusing on music, hopefully you're around people that help, you know, that believe in you, that encourage you. You know, try to be around people that are focused on something and that help you focus. And otherwise, just keep going for it, because there's so many people that are really good at what they do that stop because they don't get the encouragement, they don't get the chance, they don't get the belief from other people. So if you can be around people that encourage you, that are good for you, rather than negative influences, unless you're using the negative influences to channel songs or something, you know, you just got to keep going. And hopefully you find cool people that believe in you and let you get a shot, you know.
I think our time is running out, so I have to say a very big thanks to you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.